Hello and welcome to this video. In this video we're going to do something very different. As some of you may know, we're running a charity challenge at this point in time. The challenge in a nutshell is that we've been given £100 by Boffix to go out there and try and turn that £100 into as much profit as we possibly can. I say we because me and 3 other YouTubers have got a separate challenge each. We're going to be using different forms of sourcing to see which one can make the most money. So we have the global thrifters who are going to be using boot sales and see how much they can raise for charity. We have Andrew from Money Rental UK who's going to be looking at retail arbitrage and see how much he can make. And we have Zahir who's going to be looking at the charity shops and seeing how much money he can make through the charities. And then that leaves me, auction houses. And with the auction houses, I had it all planned out. Grab a GoPro, go on the GoPro, take you guys with me, and we can go and see how auction houses work. More importantly, we can see how much money I can raise from an auction house for the charity. And that was the plan. The plan was you guys were going to come with me, we were going to see, and I was going to explain to you how I make money from the auction house and run a small business from it. Then with COVID, we still haven't been able to physically go to auction houses at this point in time, which made it really difficult for me to go out there and source. So for this video, I'm going to show you how I used online auction houses, so the same auction houses but using that online element, to see if I can flip £100 into profit. Hello, my name is Aaron Patrick, I'm Chartered Accountant, Certified UK Trainer, that QuickBooks chap, and also, what many of you don't realise, is a UK reseller. I have a really small business and my part-time business is all about using auction houses. I have other ways of being able to source things, but the one where I make the most amount of money and the one where it makes it most profitable for me, most worthwhile, is by utilising auction houses themselves. Now with auction houses, it's a little bit different than your typical sourcing. Competition is higher, because it's not just first come first serve, because you're in competition for who can actually secure that item. And it's also quite complicated in the ways the numbers work as well. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to break down first of all how auction house works, then we're going to look about what I've been looking for, and then we're going to talk about how we actually market this and actually make some money out of it in the long run. Remember, this is all for charity, and this is about us trying to get the most amount of money we can from £100 investment from Boffix. So where do we start? Let's start with what is an auction house and how do auction houses help us as resellers? Well, the idea of an auction house is really straightforward. Items are passed over to them from someone who's looking to sell them. So it could be from ex-stockists. So one of the ones that I go to quite often has a lot of John Lewis returns, and instead of them having to destroy the returns, they put them to auction and try and get as much money they can back from those returns as possible. Or it could be private sellers who are looking to sell off stock or sell off items that they don't want anymore. And for them, instead of going to eBay and those traditional methods, they've chosen the auction house as the best way to sell those particular goods. Now, the auction houses have really complex fee structure, and that's where a lot of people get put off by it. So the first thing you're going to see is your hammer price. And then on the top of that hammer price, there's going to be a premium for the auction themselves. So that's how they make their profit. And then VAT is going to be on top of that. So you're looking already at, even though that final hammer price could be X amount of pounds, you won't be paying X amount of pounds. You're going to be paying it plus the premium fee plus VAT on top. It's always worthwhile looking into exactly how a particular auction house works before you go into committing to buy anything, just so you know that you know exactly how much that item is going to cost you in the first place. So with it being so complicated and all these extra fees coming on, can you make money from auction houses? Well, yes, you can. Finding those worthwhile items is tricky, but it is definitely doable. And to find those items is going to take a lot of research. Though the best thing to do is to find items that actually relate to you, that you understand and you've already got some interest in already. That's always the best place to start. Because if you're looking at items that you would typically go out and buy, then that's going to make it easier for you to understand what the market is saying in terms of how much a particular item is worth. Some of the best examples I've had to date is doing things like drones. To give you some examples of sort of profit margins that are out there, I paid this amount for a drone and I sold it for this amount. Meaning my profit after all the expenses and everything that was included was this. Therefore, you can see that there is profit to be made. Now, it's not going to be with every item, and not every item is going to give you that big a profit, but it shows that that sort of profit margins are out there. And depending on which auction house you go to as well, they'll even make sure the item is in good working order. And that's normally where you'll find the most amount of danger or risk when it comes to using second-hand goods, is about, does that item even work in the first place? Well, if it comes with a guarantee or a warranty, you know you're safe on that particular item. And I use those warranties as a way also to upsell when it comes to selling my items on the stores later. So do keep an eye out for warranty. Warranty is going to be really useful for you, and some auction houses give you that option on certain items. The way I typically tackle auction houses is you go down to the auction, have a look at the lots, you find the items that relate to you, put a note of those, and then you would bid on those particular items. Now you can either bid on the day and you can bid live, or you can bid online and be able to go from there. But typically it involves you actually traveling to the auction house. And if you do win an item, even if it's online, typically at that point as well, you're expected to go and collect that item in person. So normally you need to physically get to that auction house to make it worthwhile. During lockdown though, we didn't have that luxury, so I've had to go through quite a different way of doing it. But actually, although I've not sold anything yet and it's only just arrived, I think it's going to work out pretty well for me. So let's have a look at what I've purchased from the auction house and what I've spent that £100 on, and let's see what I could aim to make and what I should be able to make regarding selling these items going forward. Okay, so one of the rules within the challenge was that once you've sold an item, you then have the ability to reinvest those profits to try and make and improve those profits going forward. So luckily, the first item I bought, I'd already had a seller and a buyer for. So as long as these items are in good nick and I can sell them on to the quality that I've already agreed the sale with, then I've already got myself some profit. Perfect. So as you can see, which you probably can't see, that's worked perfectly. It's a ring light from Newer, and they're quite sought after. So I already have a buyer for this one. So it's working. That's the first thing to make sure as soon as you get the item come through, make sure the item's working for you, and then move on to a good one. So that's my first item. I purchased it, I tested it, and I've already sold it. So we're off to a flyer. Okay, with that reinvested, let's now see if we can make some more money out of the auction house on our next lot. Okay, this one was a complete and utter gamble, but here we've got a DJ set. Now, the reason I went for this is because I've seen this brand before, this Hercules brand before, and I know about the connectivity that you have in terms of putting music in and coming from there. I've done some research on it, around about £100 should be able to get for it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to give me the money that I need back for it. But it's a complete and utter gamble on this one, and obviously I'm hoping it works as well. Items I think will definitely sell well, and I know that I've not overpaid for, are these set of headphones. So here we've got the Logitech series, in really good nick actually, so I'm really happy with that one. I know these sell, and I know they sell quite quickly. So really for me, it's just getting these listed on eBay as quickly as possible and getting them out there nice and quick sell. The reason I actually got them is I've got it as a bundle, and the bundle came with these. Now these are actually really high sought after. I actually own a pair of these ones, absolutely love them, so I know these are going to go well. I'm going to open them up, have a look and make sure they're working, and also make sure all the adapters are in there. If they are, this here retail wise is 150, so you know, I've sold these before well above the £100. I've got 120 before. Now one of the things that's good about these, or has been good about these in the past, is they actually keep going out of stock. So items that they go out of stock and they're used for the pro area, then you tend to be able to get sometimes more than the retail price, depending on what their stock levels at the moment. So I'm either going to put this on low, or I might hold on to them and try and sell them at a higher point later down the line. Obviously it depends on the charity and when we get the money for them, but I know these are going to be a good sell. And you know, when you got something yourself and you already appreciate how good quality they are, you have confidence in how well they're going to sell going forward. Okay, with that little haul then, I think that's quite a nice one, and that should go down pretty well in terms of being able to sell them on nicely going forward. Let's have a look at my next haul. First item, a turntable. Now, I know from a fact that this isn't the most sought after brand in the world, but it has a nice little aesthetic to it. I've had quick little items of things that have sold like this, and I think this is going to go quite nicely. So again, as long as it works, then we're on to a winner. Hello everybody. So I thought it would be worthwhile explaining exactly how I've come to what the price is going to be. So all I'm going to use is eBay as a really good way of understanding. I might not sell it on eBay necessarily. I might sell it on Facebook. I might sell it privately. I might sell it in all manner of ways. But looking at eBay is a really good way of figuring out what the market value is going to be. So here's that turntable. So Victoria Bluetooth turntable. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to find it in... perfect. $54.99, classed as brand new. Now I don't think I can get away with $54.99 as brand new. $49.99. Yep, so I would aim for £40. If this guy's selling at $54.99, then there might be a... But I want to aim high. Worst case scenario is I can start bringing that price down. Obviously I'll have to do a full test of it later. But the instruction manual, everything's in there. And to me, that looks like it's quite a nice one. I got the same, but this time in a Union Jack finish, so I think that will go quite well. You'd probably find that might even get more of a value compared to the Tiffany blue. Again, I went for past experience on this one. There's the aim controller for the PSVR. In good nick, seems to be in working order. Again, I'll have to test this out to make sure I'm happy with it. But these actually sold out a while ago during lockdown, so I'm hoping there's still going to be the same sort of demand there was before. If you can get this on good value, I highly recommend looking out for this one. It's one of those accessories that actually, for anyone who's got a PSVR, they quite like to have this with it. And we've also been told that the PlayStation 5 backwards compatibility, that might actually help increase the value as well. Okay, complete punt with this one as well. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't come with the wires, so when it comes to testing, I'm going to have to... they're only micro USB by the looks of it, so that should be absolutely fine. But this is a baby camera, so the idea is you stick the camera up, see the baby, and then from here you're able to actually watch it and monitor the baby as you go along. Now, I don't know if it works. I have no idea on this one. This didn't come with warranty, but the price I paid for it, it's worthwhile taking the risk. You can see from completed that these sell really, really well, and they should be nice and quick flip for them, so it's perfect for this challenge. I will just have to forego finding some wires for it so I can sell it as complete. Final item, always worthwhile picking up box sets in my opinion. This one's Silent Witness, the complete season. How many is there? Seasons 1 to 21 of Silent Witness. Quick test of that item, make sure it's okay, but as long as it's okay, then we know we got a good flip for that one. Anything from the BBC tends to keep hold of its value, so the full DVD box set of that one, I should get quite a nice little tip. Okay then, so let's now look at the numbers itself and see how that works. And there we have it, a little update on how the charity is going, or how I'm doing in the charity, should I say. Also a little haul of what I've bought in and how much I'm expecting to make from it. So with this then, it's over to the gods. We've got to hope that some of these items still need to sell. We've got to make sure we still be able to, that they are what they want and there's no returns. And if so, I'm quite confident in what I'm at least going to make a profit out of it. How much of a profit I make of it, it's led to be seen. It's also going to be interesting to see what the other guys have done. So do make sure you check out their channels. Make sure that you're subscribed to them. I'll make sure all the links in below. And they'll give you updates of how they're doing in their particular hunt for gold. Hopefully this video has shown you at least how you can make profit yourself from auction houses, and you can see that it's actually quite relatively straightforward. Although there's extra fees involved in terms of buying online from the auction house, it's actually worked out pretty well. So it is something that I might start considering in the future when it comes to if we're in these sort of situations. When I do go down to the auction house themselves though, I tend to find a few more products. Just because you're walking around, you're seeing the products, you can actually feel for them and you can see if what condition they're in, if they are secondhand. So sometimes I highly recommend it. Hopefully it's inspired you guys as well to try out looking at reselling as well. It's a great way of being able to subsidize income or having a second. And there's plenty of people out there who are doing it full time, including the ones that have linked just here. Obviously, my next step is to get all this information into QuickBooks, so it is still relevant to QuickBooks. Don't you worry about that. What I'm going to do now is leave you here. It's been a pleasure to do this video for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.
I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it starts. I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me too. I can be a fighter if you want, if you want. I can be a fighter. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a fighter if you want. Oh, the way that I feel, yeah, I know that it's real, 'cause I can get him out of my head. I don't care what we do, everything's feeling new. Even if we stay in bed, my heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah. You know I want him, nah, 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 nah. My heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah.